Drew drives Ned to a heart attack, and Felicia finds out Portia's alibi is fake. Portia tells the Quartermaines that Ned might have to have surgery. Britt tries to interject, telling them Ned had a widowmaker heart attack. Portia doesn't like that. She's taking over and says they need more tests. Britt says they need to operate immediately. Britt keeps interjecting until Portia takes her aside and tells her she's out of line. Britt stands her ground, and Portia says she's scaring the family, a ward clerk and unauthorized to treat patients. This is her call. Are you trying to get yourself fired? Portia asks. Jason drags his friend away to avoid that. The family discusses Ned's heart attack, and Gio and Emma sing each other's praises. Get updates on the latest posts and more from soapsspoilers.com. Straight to your inbox. We use your personal data for interest-based advertising. As outlined in our privacy notice. At the debate, Ezra taunts Laura, thinking she should be nervous. He plans on telling everyone that her police commissioner took off, and she replaced him with a mobster's son. Laura shakes her head as he leaves. Martin tells her not to let Ezra get to her. She purses her lips, but he'd like to offer support. She allows it, and they smile at each other. He's relieved she's still speaking to him. She's not kicking him out of her life, just her house. They laugh that it was with good reason. He knows he messed up and wants to be a better brother. She tells him she appointed Dante as acting police commissioner since Mac's away. Ezra will use it against her, but she explains herself. Martin thinks she can make everyone understand. He's impressed by her integrity. He gives her a pep talk. Knowing she's the best person for the job, she's happy he's in her life. So is he, but he has to meet with Alexis. He goes, and Ezra reappears to annoy her. Danny, Rocco, and Charlotte wander GH and talk about breaking into Dalton's lab now. After a few attempts, they finally let themselves in, closing the door behind them, and are stunned. There are no animals. They suggest Danny leave since he's got more to lose if they're caught. He refuses, and they start snooping. They don't find anything and hear the door lock. They turn the lights off and hide. Dalton appears, and when he notices that some things have been moved around, he complains to himself. When he walks toward Rocco and Charlotte's hiding spot, Danny makes a noise to distract and then shows himself. Dalton wants answers. Danny admits he knows what Dalton's doing there with animal testing. Dalton shoves the kid out, ready to arrest him, while Charlotte keeps Rocco from going after them. Drew hobbles into Alexa's office, happy she got Willow out on bail. She hasn't come home, so he's concerned. Alexis says she had something important to do. Drew wants to discuss Willow's case, but she reminds him that Willow's her client, not him. He starts making threats again about Scout. He forces her to implicate Michael. She'll do so, and everyone else who could have possibly shot him as a defense. He only wants Michael to be set up, not others. He wants Martin as her co-counselor, but she doesn't want that. Besides, it'll probably mean Willow will end up in prison if he focuses on the wrong things. He goes and Martin turns up. They talk about the case and her plan. She asks him to tell his boss to leave her alone. Martin thinks there'll be hell to pay if she doesn't exonerate Willow. Wiley sees Willow dining with Jacinda and Michael and flashes back to seeing her in Drew's shirt. Wiley hugs his mother and drags her to the table. She recognizes the woman, telling her kid that she didn't recognize her with so many clothes on. Jacinda tells her about her new job, and Michael thinks it's time to wrap it up. Wiley's been worried about his mother, but she tells him he never needs to be again. The kid asks Jacinda to come see his stuffed toys. Michael is fine with that, and Willow takes him aside, unable to process that he's letting their kid around a sex worker. She plans on proving he set her up. Jalzin takes Britt to Bobby's, where she bitches and complains about being a glorified receptionist, not a doctor. She hates the room she's in and Jason for bringing her home. He knows that's BS. They recap what happened to Ned and how she saved him. She hates when he talks about her like she's a good person. Because you're wrong. Jason denies it. Back at GH, Portia tells Ned's family that Ned needs bypass surgery because 50% of his arteries are blocked. They just confirmed. She'll do all she can to ensure Ned pulls through. Takes Olivia off to sign paperwork for insurance. And Chase and BLQ embrace. Olivia has the chapel, and Lulu finds BLQ and Chase and asks if she can hang with them if it doesn't upset her. BLQ asks her to stay. She does for a while, and then BLQ fights tears. She can't lose her dad. Elsewhere, Gio is angry that he took so long to get to know Ned. What if he can't now? He melts down, and Emma tells him not to count him out yet. Drew meets Willow nearby, and she tells him what happened with Michael and Jacinda. He's incredulous. She's near tears as she explains. He assures that her ex will be in prison soon at the Q mansion. Jacinda looks at the artwork from his kid. Wiley's been put to bed. They talk up her meeting with Fred, the kid's toy. Michael thinks she handled Wiley and Willow perfectly. She jokes around but knows Willow will use it against him. She worries his case will hurt his image and case, but he doesn't care what people think. He has no problem with her being around his kids and had planned to introduce her to them. He gets upset and tells her that Willow's selfish behavior is a trigger for him. Alexis will use this against him. He has to keep his composure while on the stand, though it's not going to be easy. They go over his alibi. He holds her hand, kisses it, and thanks her for everything. Danny and Charlotte rush into Bobby's to tell Jason that Dalton caught Rocco breaking into his lab. They were all there. Jason and Britt are stunned. Dalton holds Rocco's arm as he shoves the kid in Laura's face, telling her they need to arrest him for breaking into his lab. Ezra smirks and Laura seems shocked.